Belinda and HarperAudio Australia present this unabridged recording of The 11th Floor, written by Kylie Orr and read by Hannah Fredericksen. To Zach, Jacob, Marcus, and Amelia, my own sleep-resistant babies, I adored you then, and I adore you now. But I'm so glad you finally learned to sleep. Thank you for giving me the inspiration for this book, which is in no way autobiographical. To my husband, Nick, you stuck with me on the long nights with those unsettled babies, yet agreed to keep going back for more. I'm not sure if we were optimistic or stupid, but I wouldn't have wanted to suffer through the exhaustion with anyone else. Finally, to all the parents who have struggled with fussy babies and constant night wakings, hang in there. Part 1. The Lies. Autumn, 2018. Chapter 1. All mothers lie. We lie about how much we enjoy motherhood. We lie about how well our babies sleep and how easy breastfeeding is. We lie about the kind of sex we're having and the amount of alcohol we're drinking. I lied too. Theodore burst into the world in mid-September. We chose his name because it evokes sun-drenched days in spring, a carpet of tiny buttercups in an open field. A yellow name. I see words as colours, the cross-wiring of senses I didn't consider unusual until, as an adult, I learned others didn't see the world in the same way. Joe, a cobalt blue name, had suggested a long list of baby names, but their hues were all wrong. Charlie, chestnut brown. Noah, deep violet. Will, metallic blue. I wanted a name the colour of fervent delight. I could never have predicted that 8 months later I'd be trapped in a universe of grey. It had been a usual day of trying multiple times to settle Theo. The term sleeping like a baby made no sense. In fact, the way people threw this comment around like confetti infuriated me. My experience was of a child who resisted sleep at all costs. On this particular day, Theo's morning nap involved listening to him scream for 90 minutes over 2 sleep cycles, shushing and patting, then leaving. Shush, pat, leave. It seemed the controlled crying techniques Joe and I had learned only worked if you were not a screaming mess yourself. I gave up, carried Theo around the house, and wondered where the hell I would start to clean the pigsty. Once a neat freak, my daily distress now showed itself in unwashed dishes stacked in the sink and dirty clothes piled in small mountains on the laundry floor. When I tried to put Theo down so I could tackle one chore, he screamed. So we circled each room, and I managed what I could with one hand until his afternoon nap, when the crying cycle started again. He finally surrendered at 4 o'clock. I hovered over his cot, making sure he was asleep, wrestling with the guilt of loving someone so much and resenting them at the same time, a dichotomy mothers were not supposed to admit. I touched my finger to his puckered lips, where little puffs of his warm breath escaped. The coffee-coloured birthmark stamped on his right wrist, just like mine and my mother's, was almost invisible on his olive skin. Joe's skin. His blonde curls were plastered to his forehead, sticky with sweat from the effort of crying all day. I watched the spontaneous smiles of his baby dreams and conceded that despite his resistance to sleep, Joe and I had created a divine little human. In the time it took me to tiptoe to the bathroom, undress and step under the water, I convinced myself I could hear his cries. Sighing, I stuck my head out of the shower. Silence. Was I hearing things? Going mad? 5 minutes. It's all I wanted, to wash my damn hair. The water pelted my scalp and cascaded over breasts that sagged with milk. It slid down my once taut middle, now a dimpled belt of cellulite I couldn't take off. My body marked a line between my pre-baby and post-baby life. The twists and turns of stretch marks, their silver, ruby lines remain foreign to me. Strong.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?